All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're a day early than usual. We got 12 fights. It was 11 until we got a late notice. Cody Brundage, Eric Mechanico added on Tuesday. That's a big ad, Big Marley. I always say 12 fights, the magic number. We're up to 12. You want a broad slate overview? I'll make it real quick. Look at these odds. One fight, minus 200 or less, and that is the fight that was just added. Otherwise, all minus 200 favorites or greater. 6 of them minus 300 or greater. Plenty of them expected to finish too. We don't have the Cody Brundage line, but under 1.5 is favored. I believe it was minus 135. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the 12 fights expected to finish. Should see some violence. DFS wise, very interesting card, but I'm glad we added a 12th fight. How are we doing today? What are your thoughts on this card?
Yeah, interesting is a good word for it. Not sure my thoughts on it. I will definitely talk through it with you. Yeah, I've made a couple lineups by hand. I feel like they're pretty chalky so far, so I'm not sure what the heck my plan will be on this one, but I'm glad we got that 12th fight unless something crazy happens in that fight like all Brundage fights, and then maybe I won't be happy. But Anthony Hernandez fight, I love a big high-paced fight like him, so hopefully it's a good high-scoring DFS card, but we'll see. You're muted.
You donkey. Yeah, it's twice today. Late G Rising got me. Now what's going on? It's harder on a laptop than it is 2 monitors back in Wisconsin for now. So doing what I can, doing my best. But I don't know. I think this is a bad DFS card. I'm not even going to lie. But it got so much better going from 11 to 12 fights. The reason I say it's kind of bad is obviously with so many big favorites, it makes all these underdogs really tough. But like Anthony Hernandez could be 60% on this card, could be 65% on this card. Then we go to the Brundage Mechanico fight. Now I think that fight's going to be jammed really heavily because what else is in this range? A plus 195 to finish, a plus 155 to finish, a plus 350. Like right there, 3 of those fights, all in the mid-tier, are the ones expected to go the distance. Then we have one that's going to be pretty heavily juiced to finish. So many are going to go Anthony Hernandez with one of Brundage, Mechanico, and then they're probably going to punt another position and try and get as many favorites as they can. And like, look, a minus 205 favorite, 8,300, minus 240, 8,400, minus 330, 8,700. Again, with so many big favorites, DraftKings just looks at the odds. They don't price anyone the same like they do FanDuel, so they just kept going up. Yeah, Fluffy looks way mispriced at 8,700, and he is. But he was the 5th biggest or the 5th shortest favorite on the card. So that's how they priced him. So I think we see a little wider ownerships than we have on some previous 12 fight cards, which I don't like that as much. I like the really spread out 12 fight cards where there's a lot of different combinations and stuff you can click. I don't love this card as much for DFS. I'll be at a wedding this week too, so I probably will have 0 action in tournaments, just probably play cash. Just being transparent like always. It's not a card I'm really too scared to miss out on as well. We got Chimaev, we got DDP next week. That's going to be a banger. So, yeah, 12 fights, though. There's money to be made, 100K up top. And that big fight, Brundage Mechanico added Tuesday. At least it took a card from a 1 out of 10, in my opinion, DFS talking, to it's probably like a 5 out of 10. I mean, there's money to be made. I wouldn't be shocked if there's 15 or less dupes. Since up top, you do have to make decisions with these favorites that are all big. So, we got Little Neck, bring the noise, YSN in here. Hey, I hope so too. Athletics were very disappointing. Hopefully the Padres can do something. Big Marley, any initial thoughts for you before we get into it?
Not really. Yeah, I was saying I built a couple lineups before the show, and they all felt chalky. Usually when that happens, I try to narrow it down to like 1 or 3 lineups, and then maybe go in the 5-5-5 because you can do a chalky lineup in there and get away with it. Yeah. But Brundage being on the card, I don't know if I want to risk that money on him. So I'm not sure what my plan is yet. Maybe I'll mess around with SaberSim after this, but it just might be maybe a 10 lineup type of card or type of weekend for me.
Yeah, I don't think it's one to push your eggs in the basket unless you're really feeling it this week. I think next week, pay-per-view season, big boy prizes, I think that's the fight, or that's the card I'll be targeting more. But hey, still money to be made. Let's go bottom to top. Hey, before I do so, actually, shout out us at SHIPIT Nation. That's ourselves we're shouting out, because $77,000+ will be given away, earned, randomized to an extent. Tambo Hoop did a live launch show on the YouTube station on Wednesday. Definitely make sure to check that out. An hour explaining the SHIPIT games. Long story short, you have to be an annual member, monthly member, or if you're an all access or an early bird special for NFL, you get 5 golden tickets right away. What are golden tickets? There's 50 of them, SHIPIT tickets. That gets you into a prize of, it's so hard to explain. There's so much going on. Go watch the video with Tambo and Hoop. But every week, 3 tickets will be given out. One will be a head-to-head against Hoop. One will be a 333 Wildcat that a member will do with Tambo. And then one will be a winner-take-all. 199 people get in that. How do you get selected for a golden ticket? If you're with us, if you're, again, an all or annual member, or you sign up for the early bird special right here, the $349, you already get 5 golden tickets to start, a leg up above other people. And then week 1, you get 1 ticket. Week 2, you get 2 more tickets. So then it'd be 3. Week 4, 5, etc. And if you're with us, if you cancel week 2, then you come back week 4, you lose all those prior tickets. How do you get a chance to get one of the 50? The more tickets you have, the more ballots you have, the more likely you are to get picked in the winner, because it's completely randomized. But if you have 10 versus someone that has 1, you have a 10 times better chance of getting the randomized pick to then have a chance at the 50 people. And then what does that 50 people do? 10 of the 50 then play week 17, or 50 play in week 17, 10, the top 10 move on. And then first place is right now 20,000 with an ultimate annual member. Second place, 10,000, 5,000. Everyone in the top 50 will get some cash prize and at least 1 month of SaberSim Ultimate, which is awesome stuff. The top 3 get a whole year from it. And again, the longer you're here, week 1, week 2, week 3, all the way to week 17, week 16, technically, that keeps adding up. And then you do have a lot better chance every single week, the more tickets you have to get in it. I probably explained it pretty poorly. SHIPIT games, you can click on this and that'll take you right to a whole breakdown about it. And I would go watch the video Hoop and Tambo did. A lot of people already members. This is no extra cost. This is $50,000 out of SHIPIT Nation's pocket with SaberSim 20,000 plus that they have given. And there is a chance a lot more money will be in that prize pool, because 50% of any wins in the Wildcat that is done each week will go to that SHIPIT Nation prize pool as well. So check out the video with Hoop and Tambo. First place, second place, third place. There's going to be a lot of happy people in the community. Definitely think we're the best anyway. College football free in the NFL package. Mastermind course free. Now you get the golden tickets. And if you sign up anytime before NFL season, you do get MMA, PGA, MLB, all access content as well. In addition to Discord and the best optimizer included in SaberSim. All right, Big Marley, you're talking SaberSim. Let's talk some fights. First fight of the night, the one that did get added on Tuesday, so it's late notice. And it is worth noting, this fight is at 205. Usually Brundage at 185. Because it's late notice, they're not making him cut as much weight. We have Cody Brundage and Eric Mechanico, minus 150 Brundage, plus 130 Mechanico. Under 1.5 is minus 135. So I'm going to keep a close eye on live movement all week on this, because the line's so fresh. I mean, it'll move a lot more. It takes less money to move the line. Looking at right now the line movement, Brundage opened plus 170, taking a lot of money since. So the line completely flipped and some. And then under 1.5 opened plus 100 and is now minus 135. So Brundage and the under has taken money. It's priced the closest on the card, 8,200, 8,000. It is the closest odds fight on the card as well. What are we doing in this one? It feels pretty hard to ignore.
Yeah, I think you got to use it. It's the closest fight on the card, and it could be a high-scoring one. I mean, I hate using Brundage fights. You just never know what you're going to get out of him, but he does have a wrestling and grappling edge in this fight, I think. And if he looks to grapple, then he could put up 100 points in a first-round finish. He could also put up 90-plus in a decision win, I think. I don't know if he's going to put up enough work on the ground to put up 90-plus in a decision, but if Mechanico can get back up and Brundage could land 5 to 8 takedowns, I think we could definitely get there. So I am going to be on the Brundage side, but I feel like for DFS, Mechanico is going to be the better play. If you can just make the same lineup that you would make with Brundage and put Mechanico in there, you're going to limit your dupes that way. And I think he's the more athletic striker of the two. He's got some heavy high kicks. He could knock Brundage out for sure. He's just so low pace, and I don't expect him to out wrestle Brundage. We're really relying on a knockout for any type of high score from him. Even a decision win in a 15-minute striking match, these guys could put up 50 points. So we're not looking for these guys to be striking, and if it's not striking, I expect Brundage to win. So he's my pick to win, my preferred play. But if you're trying to somehow take this one down solo, maybe just close your eyes and pick Mechanico instead.
I think with this card, I still think it's more game theory than I know fights. It definitely was. I wrote this up in the slate plan. It definitely was when there was 11 fights. I still think it's probably a chalky enough card, especially if you're playing Anthony Hernandez, where you do need to do something a little crazy. And going Brundage and Mechanico is not crazy, but it can eliminate 80 dupes down to 40. And that's a big difference right there. So I am looking to do something like that, assuming the line stays relatively close where it is now, minus 150, 130, minus 170 even, etc. I think dropping the 200 and going to Mechanico makes a lot of sense, and leaving 200 plus in this range. And a lot of that has to do with, like, I think Brundage has to be pretty high owned, like almost one of the highest on the slate. And that's because you're comparing, again, Lucindo, C-Rod, Matsumoto, all these fights. And you can see Big Marley doesn't have him ranked well, all expected to go the distance. This is a clear mid-tier fight to target, the closest price. And when that's the case and it's getting a lot of ownership, give me the guy that's cheaper, that's less owned, and you can get a little different that way. So Mechanico, my preferred play, pretty much just by default on this card to get different. Yeah, it does seem that way, Jeff, which makes no sense since minus 700 is the biggest favorite. Like, there's so many on the card, but yeah, 9,400 the highest priced. What's up, Rushing Yard? I like your avatar. Hope you're doing well. All right, let's keep it rolling to the next fight on the card. Oh, I wanted to say too, last thing. So Mechanico does have one UFC fight. Usually when it's blank, it means they haven't. I just didn't know what to do. He fought Ruzi Boyev, but he lands 0.9 significant strikes per minute. Like, the number just made no sense. He got absolutely milked. He did absolutely nothing in the fight. I didn't want to put it there, and then people would be like, oh, this dude literally does nothing every single fight. He's had one. It's not a big enough sample. Usually I still do one, but yeah, I'm not putting 0.9 and 0, and then people never play the guy because they don't know what's going on. So I wanted to mention that. All right, let's keep going. Next fight on the card, and I'm not even going to keep saying another big favorite. There's all big favorites. Gabriel Fernandez minus 400, Julia Stoliarenko plus 300, Fernandez minus 160 inside the distance, Stoliarenko plus 575 inside the distance. This fight to finish minus 215. I knew I went in some wrong order. So minus 400 plus 300, minus 215 for this fight to finish. Fernandez minus 160, Stoliarenko plus 575. Some line movement on Fernandez inside the distance as well. Opened minus 130. Yeah, opened minus 130, now minus 160. Does Stoliarenko get an armbar, or does Fernandez beat her up?
Fernandez beats her up.
Yeah.
It's just how much does she score when she beats her up is what I'm worried about. And really, the minus 215 is what sold me on this being a 3-star fight. I was going to put it as a 2-star, just kind of thinking Fernandez cruises to a decision, but minus 160 inside the distance, a little crazy. That's hard to pass up on as well. So I definitely
Chelsea Chandler made Stoliarenko and absolutely destroyed her. And she's so bad. So, but then Stoliarenko gets her random arm bars that she just dominates. That's her best. One of the best armbar ladies out there.
Yeah, I mean, if Stoliarenko wins, she's on the optimal lineup. Yeah. If Fernandez wins, I don't know, man. She's going to have a ceiling performance at 8,800, especially to outscore like you don't really have to outscore Hernandez, but the 9K range, it's just going to be so tough. So I'm not really trying to get to too much Fernandez. And with limited lineups, I'd rather take other chances at underdogs rather than Stoliarenko. I think Stoliarenko's a fine 150 type of play where if she gets it, you'll have a few chances at that optimal lineup for sure. I just don't think she's good enough. And Fernandez does probably beat her up. And I'd guess she scores around 90 points, 95 points. I don't know if that's going to be enough or not, though. On mute.
Oh, my gosh. I'm definitely going to play some Fernandez because I think she's not low owned, but with Fluffy Hernandez 100 less, like she has to be decently low owned. And then there's Uros Medic, who like he's getting 5-star, who has to be higher owned too. So she's a pivot in the upper tier, and she's minus 160 to finish against someone that if she doesn't get to the mat will just eat punches with her face. So as a pivot, minus 160 to finish, and she keeps getting money, I'm good with that on this card. Chalk your lineups, yeah. Gun to my head, is she optimal? Probably not. But again, if a pivot that's minus 160 to finish at 8,800, I can do a lot worse on a card like this. And I will be playing some Stoliarenko because if she wins, like you said, she'll be optimal. Now, there's a couple big underdogs that we can say on this card. I'm just going to be spreading out underdogs so much. I'm really curious to hear if you have one that you're going to be like 35% plus on. Definitely not me. If I'm playing, I am mixing, matching to a T. I hate all these underdogs. So probably Fernandez my preferred play, but I probably won't have too much of this fight. But I really don't think the field has too much either. Fernandez minus 160 to finish. She's my preferred play. She probably does finish Stoliarenko. Stoliarenko can't get to her armbar position. She's pretty toast. Even if she does, she had Chandler. She couldn't get it, and after that, she just died. So Fernandez for me. All right, let's keep it rolling. Next fight on the card, Uros Medic minus 450. Gilbert Urbina plus 350. Minus 800 for this fight to finish. Second most likely on the card. Medic minus 325. Urbina plus 425. Take it away. You have 3 5-star fights. It's the minus 1,000. It's the minus 800 in the main event. Yeah, this one seems pretty good to target.
Yeah, for me, it's just going to be Medic is going to be in a lot of my lineups because he is dangerous early in fights, and Urbina's not a good fighter. I mean, we've seen 3 Urbinas in the UFC, and they're all pretty bad fighters. So I don't know how they keep making their way in, but I'm going to fade them as long as they're letting them in. And I think this is a good spot to get a first round TKO. Urbina, I think, got dropped twice in the first round. Yeah, twice in the first round on the way to a first round knockout in his last fight. And Medic can do that same exact thing. Maybe we get Herzog in there. We get 5 knockdowns. You never know, but this one's going to be heavy Medic for me. If I'm making one lineup, there's a really good chance that he's in it. If I'm making 5, he might be in like 3, 4, or 5 of those lineups. So I'm going to have Medic or pass for me. It's just that there's a lot of people that can score high on this card. He's one of them. I also expect him to be heavily owned as well. So if I'm trying to get different, maybe I want to go down to a Fernandez or something. I think you could cut out a lot of dupes by doing that, and maybe that's a smart thing to do, but just on paper, I think Medic puts up 110 points here.
Yeah, I mean, if Medic gets a second round knockout and scores 98, and Fernandez was minus 160 to finish, scores 102, like you are cutting out a lot of dupes, just dropping 100 less. So definitely something I'll be looking to do. So you're not playing Gilbert Urbina at all? Like if he wins, how does he not score? No, all of Medic's fights, all 13 of them have all finished inside the distance.
I'm just not going to have enough lineups to play him. If I was doing 150, then yeah, I'd get Urbina for sure. I just don't think he's any good. So I have a hard time seeing him win, and I'd rather take my chances on it. I think there's like 7 underdogs I'm looking to play on this card.
Okay. I'm definitely higher on Urbina than you, and mainly just the fact of like he's plus 350 money line. He's plus 425 inside the distance. And with Medic, I think he's an action fighter. All of his fights have finished. Now, a couple of them in round 3. So it's not like he's just a wild brawler that like has no cardio. Like I would be surprised if this fight went the distance, but I think Medic is going to make it a dogfight, be fun, probably knock out Urbina early, who's been finished multiple times. But if Urbina wins, I do feel confident he probably scores 90 plus in a fun fight. So I'm definitely going to have both sides of this one. Medic, clearly my preferred side. Next fight on the card, Jocelyn Edwards taking on Priscilla Cachoeira, minus 310 Jocelyn, plus 260 Priscilla, plus 125 for this fight to finish. And I do not see any individual inside the distance props on fight odds. Like I see Cachoeira by KO, plus 900, Edwards by KO, plus 460, Edwards by decision, plus 115, Edwards by submission, plus 440. I don't see any inside the distance props, but yeah, I mean, hey, Brewers are good. I keep saying Brewers are good. That's for sure. I mean, I played plenty of Strider, but yeah, I tweeted it yesterday too. I mean, betting the Brewers is absolutely free money. It absolutely is. This fight though, Big Marley, this is my sneaky fight of the week for DFS. I think Jocelyn wrestles is why. Cachoeira, 65% takedown defense, throws a lot. She's had 6 takedowns in her last 4 fights. I got to get that exact number right when you talk. It's something like that. She went, 10 takedowns in her last 4 fights, and she only had 2 takedowns in her first 6 fights. She's clearly wrestling more. Seems like she's throwing with more bad intention, too. The volume's fine. Priscilla eats punches with her face. I think Jocelyn's really sneaky at 8,600, and I don't think she's played very much at all because inside the distance won't be good compared to the top tier, and Anthony Hernandez is 100 more. If Cachoeira wins, I'll let you talk about her. I do know Jocelyn's my preferred side. I will play some Priscilla. But yeah, do you think Jocelyn wrestles?
Yeah, I do. That's why I have her as my 4-star instead of a 3 and a 3 on this one. I am going to play some Cachoeira just because she is live. If this is a 15-minute striking match, it's also, she could also go out there and knock out Edwards. Aileen Perez got a knockdown on Edwards, and Cachoeira hits a lot harder than her. I think she could actually put her away if she's going to get a knockdown. So she's a live dog that I'm interested in playing. But if Edwards is smart, she's just not going to give her a chance. She'll go out there, get takedowns, and then she has nothing to worry about on the ground. So I do think she goes out that way, and I think she could get 6+ takedowns in this fight, score 100+ in a decision, and I don't think she'll be too owned. So she is a great way of getting different on this card. I think I am on the Edwards side. I'm hoping that it's as sneaky as we hope, and she's not more owned than I'm thinking, with you having the same thoughts as I was. But yeah, this is a fight I'm interested in, and it's closer to a 4-star. I might play it as a 4-star rather than a 2-star.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked, but at the end of the day, it's just like Fluffy's going to get his ownership. Medic is only a couple hundred more. Like this upper tier, like Julius Walker, Elijah Smith, like there's guys that can score up top too. I don't know. Maybe she's like 18%, something like that. I like her regardless. Anyone that has 100+ point upside in a decision, which I do think she has, I'm absolutely good on. So was that a Tic Tac? Was that a Mint? Was that a Zin? What are we looking at?
Yeah, my little mints that I'm addicted to.
All right. Icebreakers. There you go.
Yeah. Love these.
Yeah, it's Jocelyn for me. If Cachoeira wins, though, she's probably landing 100+ significant strikes if she wins, because that means I think she's stuffing takedowns, and Jocelyn throws good volume too. I think it would just be a really fun striking match, and I think she would land over 100 significant strikes, maybe a knockdown in there to steal a round, and I'll take any win from any dog on this card. Last thing to note on this fight, odds-wise, open -350 Jocelyn. Cachoeira took money, got as low as -200, and ever since then, Jocelyn's continued to take money, now sitting -310. Honestly, would not be surprised if this line closes around the -350 mark, but I'll be keeping an eye on this one as well. What's up, Colton? Fluffy Fight Week. Hey, always a lot of fun. If you like wrestling, high pace, big boy DFS scores, Fluffy Fight Weeks are fun. We'll get to that fight later, though. Got anything to say, Big Marley, or you're just leaning in?
I was thinking, fight of the night's up for grabs on this card, and if Edwards does want to just go out there, test out her striking, this could be the fight of the night, and this could be 150+ strikes from her with a couple takedowns if they were necessary. But how bad do you want to win 50K or whatever it is these days? I doubt she does that.
And it's also just, man, I feel so bad for these prelim fighters, because if any of the fights are even close to the one earlier, like they get it. Like it's like Dana forgets about these like first couple of fights. If there's any good fight on the main card that's even close to this, it feels rare that they get them. But maybe I could see it. Like if it's just 15 minutes of striking, I'm expecting a really fun fight, and they could win fight of the night. And I bet you the odds are really wide on that, especially with 7 of the 12 expected to finish. Like you don't get too many fight of the nights that just end in round 1 or something like that. What's up, Joshua? What do you say? Late to the party, but fight of the night very well hinge on the first fight of the night. Yeah, Brundage Mechanico. Yeah, I mean Brundage can definitely be in some fun fights. It can definitely be tilting as well, but we won't go there. Good to see you, Joshua. All right, let's keep it rolling.
Brundage and fight of the night will be wild.
Elijah Smith, the biggest favorite on the card, -700, taking on Toshimi Kazama, +500, -400 for this fight to finish. Smith, -290 inside the distance. Kazama, +650. Smith in round 1, +110. I'll let you take this one away. I mean, Smith probably dominates.
Yeah, it's going to be Smith or pass for me. I do think Smith dominates. Kazama would have to just pull off a submission, I think, to have a chance at winning. But Smith is really better everywhere. It's just how does he win? How high of a pace does he put up? I'm expecting a first-round finish, so I'm going to be playing a lot of them. I think you can cut out some dupes by going from Walker to Smith. So I'm definitely fine doing that. I'm also fine going down to Medic or even Fernandez if we're really trying to cut out a bunch of dupes. But for me, it's going to be Smith or pass. I'm not going to have enough lineups to get to Kazama. He's another 150 type of play where if he does win, he's probably on the optimal lineup. But I just don't think he's going to win. So give me Smith, and I think he puts up probably like 100 points.
Yeah, I'm on Smith too. I don't think I'm going to get to any Kazama. Not in 20 entry and below. Biggest favorite Smith, +110 to finish in round 1. You think Smith just keeps it on the feet the whole time, just knocks him out? Like no need to even go to the mat with this guy?
Yeah, I would say that's his game plan. But if he wants to wrestle, he could do that, and I think he would be fine. But it's more dangerous on the ground. Kazama is just as terrible on the feet, and Smith, I think, knocks him out in the first round. So maybe 100, 105, 110. It's just I don't think Kazama is going to be willing to strike with him. It's probably going to be over pretty quick. I think so he'll just look to give up, in my opinion.
That Gregoria fight last time for Kazama was absolutely wild. If you guys want to see a good fight, go back and watch that one. I mean, it was all Gregory in round 1. I think he dropped him. Let me check this out on UFC stats before I just keep talking. I mean, I know it was such a comeback win. I was watching my brother. I mean, it was tough scenes for the Gregory.
I didn't even rewatch it. I heard someone else talk about that though. I should rewatched it.
You should rewatch it. Phenomenal fight. Round 1, Gregory knocked him down, outstruck him. What the heck? All his strikes were in round 2. He knocked him down in round 2. I guess I didn't even realize that. Round 1 was Kazama controlling. So I guess I didn't remember the fight as much as I thought. Then Gregoria in round 2 absolutely started taking over and completely gassed himself. And then he got caught in the triangle choke. Definitely I'm going to go watch back that fight now that I messed up round 1 and round 2. Awesome fight. Kazama, he'll fight for your dollar. At least he did in that fight. But he definitely can be cracked. It was if Gregoria didn't completely gas himself and had nothing left in the tank, I mean, anyone really would have finished Kazama at that point. So it's definitely Elijah Smith. I don't think he'll gas himself.
Smith has gassed in the past, but I don't think he's going to put up a crazy enough pace to gas to Kazama, to be honest.
I mean, Kazama was so out. If he landed like 3 more strikes, Gregoria was just on top, and then he just literally died. And he just put his head down and just like laid on him. And eventually got caught. It was crazy. I'm going to probably watch that back tonight after I get off. Recommend people watch Kazama and Gregoria as well. All right. Perfect fight. Going to the next one. The biggest, we go from the second biggest favorite to the first biggest favorite. And the highest price in Walker, second highest was Smith. But Julius Walker, -600. Rafael Cerqueira, +425. -1,000 for this fight to finish. Walker inside the distance, -600. Cerqueira, +700. Walker round 1, -130. Best inside the distance prop, best round 1 prop. How much Walker are you playing?
I'm not really sure because I'm just okay with the whole 9K range. I want Walker. I think is going to get a first round knockout, but I think Smith's going to get a first round knockout, and he's 100 cheaper. I think Medic is going to get a first round knockout, and he's 500 cheaper. So I'm not completely sold on Walker, but I definitely want to get as much as I can afford. And then Carias, he's the same play as Kazama and Stoliarenko, where he's going to have to get a finish to win. I just don't see where he's better than Walker at all. He's hittable, and Walker hits hard, and I think Walker could go out there and wrestle and probably knock him out on the ground too if he wants. I just don't think this fight's going to go long. Minus 1,000 ITD. Vegas doesn't think that either. What's Walker in the first round?
Walker minus 130.
Yeah,
Best on the slate.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. So I mean, I definitely like Walker.
Like Nakamura last week, he just missed the bonus by 1 or 2 seconds. But what, he scored 110? Like if Walker scores 110, how much exposure would you have? And 110 is good, obviously. That's
a lot. I mean, 40-50%, I would imagine. I mean, if I knew he was going to score 110, like if I knew he was going to win, and score 110, 50 plus
50%. I think that's probably right. Like 110 is definitely good, but on a card where the dog stinks so bad and the upper tier with so many big favorites and so many expected finishes, yeah, it's still probably 50%. You take 110 in DFS. What about Carias? You're not playing any of them? Like if he wins, his money line, another one right here. Money line plus 425. Inside the distance, actually it's not as good as I thought. Plus 700. It's better on another site. Plus 600.
Yeah, I really don't think I'm going to have more than 10 lineups on this card. So I'm just not trying to waste them on Carias and Stoliarenkos and Kazamas. I think with 150, they're all great 10% type of plays. I'm just not. I know I'm not going to make 150 on this card.
Yeah, I'm definitely not making 150. Yeah, it's Walker pass, but you said it right away from the get-go, and I agree. Like how to get different, I'm fine going Walker down to Medic easily. Walker down to Jocelyn. I don't know if I quite do that. Maybe I'd upgrade some other spot, but like, would I be shocked if Jocelyn outscored Walker? I wouldn't be shocked because Walker could get a first round knockout, score 100 points. Jocelyn can score 100 plus in a decision because of wrestling. Do I think it's the likely outcome? Maybe not, but if you're telling me Walker down to Jocelyn gives me 80 dupes to 2 or 3 or 4, yeah, I think it's a lot more than 20 times as likely that Walker outscores her. No, I don't think it's quite that number. Obviously, I'm throwing around dupe counts and stuff like that, but I mean, you build a lineup that leaves 0 with Walker and you take him out and go down to Jocelyn, it very well might go 80-1 or something like that. So I am willing to definitely build lineups, put in Smith or Walker in the upper tier, drop down to a low 9K, high 8K fighter, and go about it that way. And I want to preface by saying, almost all of this, I'm already expecting for Anthony Hernandez to be on my team. If you're not playing fluffy up top, you don't need to get nearly as crazy at a lot of these other spots. I do think fluffy and then one of Brundage Mechanico is the chalk. If you're even like if you play in Brundage Mechanico but not fluffy, I wouldn't worry about ownership nearly as much. I would not be surprised to see Anthony Hernandez come in 65%, something like that, in the large field tournament. And to be honest, I think that's probably right. Like, we'll get to that fight later, but the dude has more upside. He's Marab Jr. The heavier Marab is what I like to call him for DFS. So we'll get there in a little bit, though. Appreciate everyone hanging out. Hope your day, your nights, whenever you're listening, is going well. Hey, next thing you know, football will be back. Super pumped over at SHIPIT Nation. Again, make sure to check out the video with Hoop and Tambo explaining NFL package, college football, NFL. You get SaberSim. Get the mystery bonus like we talked about. Golden SHIPIT tickets to the game. The SHIPIT games, you'll have to check that out with Tambo and Hoop that explain that video, or you can just go right to our website right here up top. Let's see. SHIPIT games, 77,000 up top. If you click this link, it'll bring you to shipitgames.com, and that explains everything you need to know about it. We'd absolutely love to have you. This price is going up to $449 next Wednesday as well. So get in, get the tickets locked in, get in the Discord, and get ready for a great NFL season. I absolutely can't wait. I've been firing best ball drafts too, Big Marley. I said I was done. I am done with slow drafts, but I've been hitting some high stakes fast drafts. I've been having a lot of fun with that. How many you got so far?
I haven't done many more than last week, so 300, whatever. I've been
300,
looking at that new one drafters added, the 250, but there are no fast drafts so far. So I don't know. I guess
if there is going to be one, like you think it's about to fill, hit me up. I'll definitely jump in.
I haven't even seen one person sitting in a fast draft yet, so we'll see.
Yeah, well, if so, let me know.
All right.
Let's keep it rolling. Another big favorite. Christian Leroy Duncan minus 460, Eric Anders plus 360, minus 460 CLD plus 360 Anders plus 130 for this fight to finish. Leroy Duncan plus 145 inside the distance. Anders plus 900. Leroy Duncan round 1 plus 450. Interesting to note. So I put these up on Monday. The odds minus 550. Now it's minus 460. Some money coming back on Anders. I like to see that. Why? I'm not playing Christian Leroy Duncan in 20 teams or less. I need fades in the upper tier, plus 450 in round 1 versus what we just talked about with Walker, with Smith, with Medic, with Fernandez. If it beats me, it beats me. I would rather drop Walker down to Jocelyn and save 800, leave $800 than I would play Christian Leroy Duncan. None of him. Part of that has to do with Anders has never been finished. 17-8, 8 losses, never been finished. He's tough. He'll fight for your dollar. Now, he's not a great DFS scorer himself, but I promise if he wins at 7K, you will be happy. I will take any win at 7K this week. Heck, this fight's expected to go 15 minutes. That could be enough. Anders scoring 35 could be enough to be on the winner on this card if all favorites win on a very heavy favorite card. So Anders definitely my preferred play in this one. No Leroy Duncan for me. I think Leroy Duncan probably wins the decision, but I'm glad to see the money coming back on Anders.
Yeah, I think the Duncan line could be like 15% too high. I am picking him to win. I just think he's going to be the better striker, and this is probably a striking match. But I'm not playing him on DFS. I'm going to completely X him out. I'm not going to have enough lineups, so no Duncan for me. I will play Anders. I think he could win this fight with a low-pace striking match. I think he could knock out Duncan. It'd be really smart of him to go out there and wrestle, and he could put up a big score if he does that. I just don't trust that he wrestles enough. So that's why I'm picking Duncan here. But I might bet Anders just based on there being value on at plus 410 or plus 400, whatever it is right now, and get my action that way. I'm definitely going to play a little bit of him on DraftKings as well. And I saw him after the fights in Atlanta at the hotel, talked to him for a little bit. He was huge, dude, 185 pounds. Like, asked him what he was weighing. He's like, I'm probably like 225 right now. That was a few weeks ago. His
legs are massive, bro. His legs are insane.
He's huge. I mean, I was like, I was thinking in my head, man, I wouldn't want this guy taking me down, but that'd be really smart of him to go out there and wrestle a kickboxer in Duncan. So that's what I'll be hoping happens. I'll be playing Anders. I'll be overweight to the field. He's the cheapest. I'm willing to go this week. So yeah, let's go Anders, but I think he loses.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Mom just texted me, so I heard Twitter, you bet the Brewers again? Hey, Big Marley, you want to parlay Anders? Parlay him with the Brewers. This team is too hot. Free money, Brewers. But no, unfortunately, not illegal. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not in a legal state, so unfortunately, I could not today. But that's a bummer, she says. Yes, it is. Cost me like 4 G's the past 2 days, but that's all right. Let's keep it rolling. Next fight on the card. No one cares about. Well, very few probably care about baseball. No one cares about what it cost me or what I won. Big favorite, Gene Matsumoto taking on Miles Johns. Not sure why I said big favorite. I keep saying I'm not going to say that, but it's not often you see a $8,500 fighter at minus 310. That's what we have here. Miles John plus 260 on the way back, plus 195 for this fight to finish. Matsumoto plus 245 inside the distance. Johns plus 700. Take it away. What are you doing?
I'm mostly just going to avoid this fight. I'm okay getting some Matsumoto. I don't think he'll get too much ownership, so he's another way that you can get different on this card. I expect him just to be better everywhere at this point. Johns is a wrestler, but he doesn't wrestle in fights. He's got power in his hands, but he doesn't throw enough volume, so he's just never a guy that I'm really looking to pick. And I feel like Matsumoto just had his learning experience, and this probably isn't going to be a back-to-back learning experience for him. This is a good matchup where if he wants to keep it on the feet, He should be able to double up or triple up Johns, possibly get a late TKO here. And he's coming off of like 7 takedowns against Font. I mean, if you're shooting for that many takedowns against Johns, even if John's the better wrestler, we could see Matsumoto land more takedowns in this fight. So for me, it's Gene or pass. Johns is another one. Like if I'm making 150, I would get some of them, but even if he wins this fight, I don't expect him to put up a big score. So I'd rather take my chances elsewhere. 7 underdogs on this card. He's not one of them.
Yeah, no, I'm fading Johns too. Like 77 to enough, 100's enough. Where if he wins, like I legit think he probably scores 55. Like I don't see him getting takedowns. The dude lands no volume. How much do you think Gene wrestles? Miles Johns not easy to take down. A good wrestler himself.
I don't think he does. I expect him to. I would guess he doesn't wrestle at all, actually.
Yeah, there's probably a fade. I mean, does he have 150 significant strike upside? Can he knock out Miles Johns in the second? Like, do you see many paths? He's on the optimal?
Yeah, I think he could put up decent volume here and knock out. Really, I think he could knock out Johns in any round. He's just not really a power puncher, in my opinion. But if the strikes are adding up, I think he could put Johns away.
Yeah. I won't have much Matsumoto, but I mean, 16-1, young kid, going to be low owned. I just don't love it. I prefer the Brundage Mechanico fight. I prefer Jocelyn. I prefer Fluffy. You keep Fernandez. You keep going up the list. I prefer. So not much for me. Matsumoto, my preferred play if having to choose. One of my least favorite fights on the card. And yeah, Big Marley only has 1 2-star fight, and this is it. So we are lockstep there. Or excuse me, 2 2-star fights. We just went back to back on them.
Yep.
All right, next fight. 4 fights left. C-Rod, Christian Rodriguez taking on Andre Touchy Fili, minus 235. C-Rod plus 200. Andre Fili plus 155 for this fight to finish. C-Rod plus 195 inside the distance. Fili plus 650. If I'm forced to pick an underdog on this card, it's either one of the next 2 fights. It's Angela Hill or it's Andre Fili. Now, man, I had a big bet on Fili against Cub Swanson last year. I was like, man, this might be when Fili just like he went from really solid to he's getting up there in age a little bit at 35. He's been in wars. See 24-12 pro record, and that fight didn't look good. I felt a little lucky to win that bet, and I was like, this just is not the same Touchy Fili as I remember. C-Rod just beats everyone that's unknown or that's coming up. I mean, the Chihuahua Rosas Jr., he gets him. He gets Simon. He gets Bulgarian. Like, the dude he gets Bashy. Like, he just knows how to win those fights. So, I don't love Fili, but I want to almost pick a dog on this card, and all the other ones just seem so obvious that it's going to be the favorite. So, can you talk me into little Fili? I see you have more stars on him.
A live dog. He could win this fight anywhere. Searching for live dogs. He's just one that I'm going to end up clicking on.
Yeah.
I don't think he puts up a high score. I don't feel good about him even winning the fight, but we need underdogs on this card, and that 7,800, 7,900, 8K range, you almost have to get at least one of them in there. So I'll have all of them. But yeah, give me Rodriguez to be the better fighter. I actually think he's going to win like 2 rounds on get it 29-28 on the scorecards and just not put up enough DFS points. So that's why I got my 4 stars on Fili. I'm picking Rodriguez to win, but if I'm going to play this fight on DFS, even if I can afford Rodriguez, let me drop the $600 and go down to Fili instead. Cut down, like a quarter of the dupes right there. So I mean, maybe way more than that. So yeah,
probably a lot
prefer
more
Fili DFS wise, but another one, I might make this a 2-star fight. I'm just not looking to target it much.
And that's again why I mentioned from the top, Brundage Mechanico. Like, that fight is going to be a lot heavier, a lot higher owned than I think people are expecting, and that's just the nature of that mid-tier range is not good at all when the people see that inside the distance prop. How much does either wrestle, do you think? 2.17 for Fili, 1.84 for C-Rod. I mean, C-Rod's really hard to wrestle, as we've seen multiple times. Do you think C-Rod mixes in takedown? Do you think it's 15 minutes on the feet?
I would guess that they both landed takedown in this one.
Okay.
I'd probably set over 0.5 on both of them on here.
All right. Fili my preferred play with the 600 savings as well. Let's take it to another mid-tier fight that's very heavily favored to go the distance. The most likely to go the distance on the card. Yasmin Lucindo minus 200. Angela Hill plus 170. Plus 400 for this fight to finish. So this fight's minus 600 to go the distance. And an open minus 500. So money keeps coming in on the over. Inside the distance props, Lucindo plus 400. Oh, Angela Hill's plus 1,400. I looked earlier and it was plus 1,000. So, yeah, Angela Hill, definitely not expecting to get a finish. Couple things stand out to me in this one. 40-year-old Angela Hill, 23-year-old Yasmin Lucindo. Interesting. Angela Hill, 5.47 significant strikes per minute, less than a takedown. Lucindo, less than 3 significant strikes per minute, over 2 takedowns per 15 minutes. Who's your preferred side? I see you already have more stars with Hill. And then break down the fight. But then who would you rather play? Lucindo or rank them? Lucindo, C-Rod, Matsumoto. And then you can rank Hill, Fili, Johns if you want. But like all three of these fights, all in the mid-tier, all priced together, all look similar to me. They all stink, but they're going to be low owned.
Well, I'll just say Matsumoto, and I'm not playing C-Rod. I'm not playing Lucindo. And then Hill, Fili, Johns in that order as the underdogs. Hill is my Magni for this week. I didn't really want to pick any underdogs.
Good call last week.
It could have been a great week for me. I just really needed Park to win at the end of the night, and that didn't happen. I fell asleep like 2-3 fights before that even started, though, so I didn't even know.
You heard him early, and that was about all she wrote. Man, Tyra just freaking floats. That dude he's nasty, jumping back.
I got to watch it. I haven't seen it.
It didn't take long. Yeah, it didn't take long.
But yeah, I just think Hill is a live dog on this card where I didn't pick any dogs. I almost always try to force myself to pick at least one. And I was getting towards the end here. I was like, damn, I mean, who's it going to be? Fili or is it going to be Hill? And I went with Hill because I think that she can keep this fight on the feet and she can win on volume. She's also looked decent in her last couple fights or I don't know, one of her recent fights on the ground. I think she could mix in a takedown or two here, put up solid volume, and maybe score 85 points in a win. And I'm taking 85 points in a win from any underdog on this card. So Hill, I'll be overweight for sure. If I have 35+% of any underdog, it's probably Hill this week because I'm picking her to win, and I'm not going to be playing Lucindo. And I mean, I probably will have 35% Hill just because I'll only have 10 lineups. I bet 4 of them have Hill. Yeah, 4 or 5 of them have Hill.
Yeah, that makes some sense. I appreciate that, Colin. Help me to do my job. Like button helps us out a ton. Subscribe button as well. Every single week you'll see us here. Actually, in 2 weeks, you'll get Sheets back. I will be out in Greece. Sheets the man. A lot of really good reviews with Sheets. You got how Sheets thinks about DFS, completely different than he's so sharp, but you get the big Marley breaks down the actual fight stuff. I try and play kind of the Sheets role with the game theory and stuff, but very few can do it like Sheets. Way better MMA DFS player than me, way better period DFS player. I'm excited to have him back on because I know you guys are as well. So shout out Sheets. Thank you for filling in to me as well. One last vacation before the big NFL season. All right, 2 fights left. Steve Ersig, Ode Osborne, minus 600. Ersig, plus 425. Ode, minus 210 for this fight to finish. Ersig, minus 165 inside the distance. Ode, plus 650. So you just mentioned Park. Park was supposed to fight Steve Ersig this week. Amir Albazi pulled out against Tyra last week in the main event. So Park left this fight against Ersig to fight Tyra last week. In steps Ode Osborne on late notice. Again, a really big favorite is Ersig. He opened minus 350 on August 1st, and now he is minus 600. If Ode wins, it's got to be knockout, right? Like, he has power, and we saw Kai knock Ersig out in the first. I think Ode is live. I'm going to play some as a dog I don't like much. But, yeah, I mean, Steve Ersig's more talented, more skilled wherever this fight goes and should make it look pretty easy. But Ode's fast. These are skinny dudes that are quick, and Ode has power for the division. But, yeah, he's 13-8. Clearly, he has some flaws in his game.
Yeah, I would guess that if Ode is going to win, it's going to be – I mean, if he could submit – I would guess it's going to be a finish, a knockout, or a submission, but I would be way less shocked if he won a decision than I would be like a Stoliarenko or Carias. So I don't really put him on their level. I'm interested in O'Day because he's somewhat live in anywhere this fight goes, but he could snatch a neck early and he could knock out Ersig early. And I expect if he wins, probably early, and he's going to put up a big time score. And if he doesn't win early, I just think that Ersig is going to start piling up the damage on the feet. He could start racking up takedowns. I expect him to get a late finish if the later it goes. So I like him as well. I'm going to be playing both sides of this fight. I don't think Ersig will get as much ownership as the Walkers and the Mediches and the Hernandezes. So I'm definitely cool getting him. And then Osborne, $7,100. He'll help you afford those guys that we do want to play. So Osborne and Anders are my cheapos this week. I'll be playing more than the field on both, but I don't know how much Osborne I really want. I mean, I'd say I'd probably want to cap him at like 20%.
Do you think Ersig wrestles?
Yeah, I would guess he does. I have him winning by submission. I think he's going to get a couple takedowns.
Yeah, and the reason I asked that, because his sub prop is plus 165. Like, that's a really short number. Plus 285 by KO, but seeing that sub prop with him minus 165 to finish with wrestling upside in the tier that he's got to be like somewhat of a pivot in, because his round one prop's much worse than Walker, than Smith. It's plus 200. I like Ersig as a way to get different. Also worth noting, plus 200 in round one and open plus 230. It's just some money coming in on the under. O'Day can be fragile. We've seen it in the past. I like myself some Ersig too. And I like O'Day. Like, I think this is a very solid fight to target that's not going to get too much ownership relative to this card. I mean, are you surprised to see O'Day by KO plus 700 and O'Day by submission at plus, was it 2,500? It's like over, yeah, it's like 3.5x. He's more likely to KO than sub.
Yeah, that is surprising to hear, yeah. I would think that would have been somewhat similar.
Makes sense. And they're giving a lot of, I guess, Ersig's shin's a little question. We saw him got knocked out, and then his grappling's really good. Like, he went toe-to-toe with Pantoja, I guess, is the thought process. But someone grabs a neck at any point. Like, you never know. So it's Ersig probably. But, yeah, if O'Day wins, I think he scores solid.
Mm-hmm.
Last fight of the card. Anthony Fluffy Hernandez taking on Roman Dolidze. Minus 330 Fluffy, plus 270 Dolidze. Minus 180 for this fight to finish. Plus 140 inside the distance is Fluffy. Plus 225 is Dolidze. I called Fluffy the mini Marab. He's actually a grown man Marab. He weighs a lot more. 6.27 takedowns per 15. 4.5 significant strikes per minute. Put up 192 DraftKings points against Michelle Pereira. Yeah, I mean, it's always fun to watch him fight. Junkyard dog, cardio for days. He'll just stick to you like glue and try and peel you on the mat. And, I mean, he's a heck of a wrestler. He's always one step ahead, it feels like. If he wins, he probably puts up a massive score. Yeah, I mean, how much Hernandez versus Dolidze do you think you'll have? Will you have any fight fades in this one?
No, I'm gonna have this in every lineup I create, especially if I'm making 10 lineups.
What about 150?
150.
It's still hard to not see it. It's hard not to see it optimal, because
I guess I wouldn't make a rule, but I do have a hard time seeing this one not on the optimal, because Hernandez just brings that crazy pace and he can wrestle. He could land 5 to 10 takedowns in this fight and 250 ground strikes with 10 plus minutes of control time. He has by far the highest ceiling on this card. He could almost double up everybody else. That's how good he is. But Dolidze is bigger, stronger, and dangerous everywhere. So I'm interested in Dolidze too. I would guess if I'm making 10 lineups, I see in my head like 8 Hernandez, 2 Dolidze, maybe 7 Hernandez, 3 Dolidze. But that's about where I want to be, because if Dolidze wins, I think he's either going to knock him out or submit him. He's dangerous on the ground. And Hernandez's last loss was a knockout loss to Holland. I think Dolidze hits a little bit harder than Holland. Actually, would not shock me out to see him get a knockout in like the first 3 rounds. But if Hernandez makes it out of that third round, I think it's because he is just putting a pace on Dolidze that he can't keep up with, and he might drown him in the fourth or the fifth. So Hernandez is the obvious play that I want to get, but he's the highest owned play on the card for good reason. So Dolidze, maybe he makes more sense for DFS wise. I'm interested to see what Sheets puts in the Discord this week for this fight, because he could definitely change my mind if he's high on Dolidze for DFS.
I think he's going to think Hernandez is good chalk, which I also agree he is. But you can't not play Dolidze. You can. I debated it. I was just locking Fluffy, but I just think he'll be 65 to 70% owned. And on this card where game theory matters a lot, and Roman's plus 225 inside the distance, phenomenal. He can win by sub or knockout. What he did to Phil Hawes was absolutely disgusting. Took his knee, took his face. I mean, he just absolutely beat him in every which way. Dolidze is a dangerous. What he did to Kyle Dawkins, that's I was at that Austin, Texas fight. Two of the most insane fights I've seen. And Dawkins is making his return. Shout out Kyle Dawkins, got a little win streak outside the UFC. But man, that knee that broke Dawkins' face was just disgusting. And then I don't know if you know this fight, Big Marley. Phil Hawes against Deron Wynn. Oh my gosh, was that murder? Oh no, I'm frozen. Oh, I'm good.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that one for sure.
Oh my gosh, was that really, that was tough to watch. CC wasn't having fun either, but that was the best card I've ever gone to, the Austin, Texas card for sure. Long story short, though, Dolidze, when he walked out, because I was on Dawkins, I wanted to bet Dolidze right away. The dude looked possessed. He's dangerous for sure. Fluffy, the longer the fight goes, he takes over. But yeah, Roman can do it in any which way. Are you surprised? Or go ahead.
I was gonna say I have Dolidze as the fourth highest owned guy on the card, though. So I think 65, 70% Hernandez. I think that's just too high because people are almost forced to get to Dolidze on this card so that they can play the Walkers and the Smiths and the Mediches. I think Dolidze is going to be pretty owned. Say what?
That makes me want to lock Fluffy, and that makes me want to play more teams. If you think Fluffy's less than 57% owned, I might actually just jam the card and lock Fluffy. The reason for that is any win, and he's minus 330. I can't see him winning and not being optimal. I can't see that. So if I'm getting a minus 330 favorite to 100% of my teams that I know will score amazing if he does win, if that's correct with the ownership, I think projecting ownership on this fight is probably the biggest decision you have. If you think it's 56%, something like that, like we see most cards in the main event, I think Fluffy's the best play, and I think 90% Fluffy or something's good. If you think kind of what I was thinking, 65 to 70, that's when it got more. That's a lot. That's a big number. You know what I mean? That's pretty close to his win equity, and that's where underdogs are tough. Dolidze has upside in that way. But yeah, I guess I'm going to have to follow line movement, start building, and really see. I think that's the biggest thing leaving our show. I always love talking through it. We were lockstep on a lot of stuff. If Fluffy, if you think he's 55%-ish or less, I think you jam him. If you think he's 65 to 70, I think that's when Dolidze is more appealing. I truly don't know. You're right. Dogs stink so much. Why not go to the main event the other side? But man, people are going to see Fluffy's game log, his takedowns, how dominant he's been. And they're going to think like I am, that the dude's invincible. Obviously, no one's invincible. You are until you aren't. And people just want to lock their 130. So I don't know. That's tough. I'm really curious to hear what Sheets says. Another reason to be in the Discord, always drops his full paragraph. And he drops his degen bets that are always plus EV because it cheats. And he puts the house on it, whatever he can. And the dude wins them randomly because he's really, really sharp. But it only takes 1 out of 8 or 9 how he bets them. And then he pays it off. He got, I don't know, Ribeiro by sub or some sub that people weren't really expecting. No, I definitely wouldn't fight stack this one. If Fluffy wins, I just think it's so dominant on the ground. Roman spends so much time off his back. It's hard to see him getting there at 75. I would rather Eric Anders at 7K in a 15-minute decision loss than I would a Dolidze in a loss. So I'm not fight stacking it. Anything on that, Big Marley? Any final thoughts on this card before we get on out here?
Not zero stacks for me. I'll just be making a stand. Every lineup that I hand build will be for sure having somebody from this fight. Just more so Hernandez. I do think he puts up a pace and drowns Dolidze at some point, but hopefully it's a fun one. Hopefully it's a profitable one. Good luck to you, Title. Good luck to everybody listening. Let's ship it.
Let's ship it. Apex. What is it? 4:30 Eastern? I think it's 4:30 Eastern this week. Is it not? Hold on. I'm going to get this right before we get down to here. 4 o'clock Eastern?
Yep.
4 Eastern at the Apex. 12 fights. Fingers crossed we keep all 12. Again, I got a wedding in the morning and stuff. I'll be around, so I'll be in the Discord. But if there's any late scratch or like right before lock, Big Marley will be in there. We got you covered like always. Projections, ownership will be up on Friday. Again, if you want to join us at the Nation, no better time. Early bird special. Football season, not only NFL you get college football that many people charge for. You get the best optimizer around in SaberSim, get the best Discord community, and you get golden SHIPIT tickets for a chance to win $20,000 plus at the end when it's all said and done, and a yearly ultimate member. Again, Tambo does a way better job explaining it with Hoop. SHIPIT Games, if you want to go to the website and click this, that'll bring you to a different website that explains everything. But definitely check out the video on Wednesday that Hoop and Tambo did explaining an hour talking about the SHIPIT games. Very exciting stuff for the community. That's going to do it for us. Awesome talking fights with you as always, Big Marley. Enjoy your weekend. We will be back next week for pay-per-view season. For Big Marley, I'm Titletown. Good luck. Be safe. Appreciate y'all watching. Peace.